Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore podcast starts now.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Jersey Shore podcast brought to you by the Great American Sports Network, and that is Jersey Shore, S-U-R-E, because we are always short. We have a great guest tonight. We'll get to that guest in a minute. So just some quick monologue into the breaking news I want to go to. I mean, obviously, everyone knows third assassination attempt on Trump. So tonight we're going to confront a moment that really should disturb everybody and every American. I mean, a third assassination attempt on President Trump. That means he's the most, he has the most assassination attempts than any other president in history. So political violence is utterly unacceptable. Yet when elected officials on the left compare Trump to a dictator, call his supporters white supremacists, or stoke fear, they create an environment where unhinged individuals feel emboldened. Anyone is allowed to say what they want. But when you're an elected official or part of the media, words have consequences. And this rhetoric, it's got to end. You know, even go back to last week's breaking news, the SPLC, once a watchdog, now faces indictments, proving how toxic labeling can spiral. But we're here to stand against that because it's important. In a moment, we're going to have Commissioner Nick DiSilvio. He's going to join us, and we're going to discuss these topics, as well as Gloucester County's challenges, where we're both from, and finally share my campaign's path, because this is a fight to return South Jersey, to the people, not the political machine. So let's stand united. This is the Jersey Shore. So let's get started. Let's bring on our first guest. He's coming on. Almost there, Nick. What's up, Nick? How are you, man? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for the invite. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Always with the struggle, trying to make South Jersey better. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, this first Hammer segment, and I don't think I even got to tell you. I'm sure you saw Seth's podcast, Seth, the Conservative Corner. So he's on our network, and I call him the pirate. I bought him a little pirate sword, but he calls me the Hammer. So yeah. I made this up for him. The sledgehammer, spray painted in gold paint. That's why they're called Hammer segments instead of regular segments, because for whatever reason he just nicknamed me the Hammer. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we just rolled with
it. That's pretty cool. I never actually met Seth personally, but he seems pretty funny. He's a funny, straightforward type of guy. So,
Yeah, he's going to be coming up. I think he came up for the election party, and he'll also be coming up for, I believe, the Canine Country Jam on May 30th. It's actually in your area, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It's near Franklinville, Vineland. Man, drawing blank on it. But we have a promotion for it. It's May 30th, and it's to raise money for police dogs, for canines, because it basically
awesome. It sounds awesome. Yeah.
Because the police officers, they actually have to take care of their dogs, and this area they don't. Of course they take them home to feed them, but even the vet bills, if they get sick, they have to pay for the vet bills. It's not covered. And even though police dogs are just like police officers, I was surprised to hear that. But so we've been promoting for them for a while, and I can't wait to go. We're going to live stream from there as well.
It sounds like an awesome cause.
Yeah. So I'll let you know about it more later. And
let me know. I'll go to that.
Yeah. It's right by you. If my producer puts it in a private jet, I forget the name of the town off the top of my head.
Down where all us farmers are.
Yeah. Basically, that's where it's at. Yeah. But
okay.
The Belleville Winery. So I don't know if you're familiar with the
Belleville Winery. I think that's in Vineland.
Yeah, if you're Vineland, yeah. But it's got a smaller town that's attached to the actual address, and that's why I'm drawing a blank on it.
Yeah, I know where all the wineries are, so we're good.
Okay, all right, that's great. But But I want to get into a bunch of stuff. I mean, first of all, I want to have everybody that's watching tonight to please like and subscribe if you're watching. And just so you know, we have a chat box. And, you know, if you guys are watching on any social media platform, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on, you know, it's Facebook, Rumble, X, whatever it may be, you guys can pump a question into the chat box. They'll see it. We'll put it up there, you know, and we'll talk about it. But other than that, like, subscribe, and listen. And thank you for people that are saying hi. I see MC Avis Chavez said hi. M Chavez said hi. Sorry, it's a little small for me. And then Donald W4, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. But Nick, the first thing I want to talk about, and this is important, man. This is the third attempt on Donald Trump's life. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, what do you think about what's going on here? Listen, I know people on the right, far anything is too bad. You know, far right, far left, but it seems like the far left, they're really stoking a lot of, you know, hatred, you know, in this country.
Yeah. I can't even express in words how I feel about that right now. It's just, if somebody on the left, some kind of legislator, were to come out and kind of like, you know, go against what just happened instead of sparking it up, I kind of think that, you know, it would go away. You know, these people would stop. But when you have shows like The View and MSNBC and CNN talking about, you know, Trump's a Hitler and he's a pedophile and all this other crap, I mean, I think that the mainstream media, the liberal mainstream media, they stoked the fire for all these incidents. That's something that's never talked about. Like, why? I mean, I had to put up with I shouldn't say put up, but I dealt with 8 years of Obama. Okay, I never in a million years would have thought that anybody on the right would do something like this. I mean, you know, you deal with it. You kind of like you try to look for a positive things that happen with Obama, but you know, nothing ever crosses your mind like this. I mean, it's crazy, you know.
It is, and they don't. I mean, I believe that they understand that it's crazy. I think they understand what the rhetoric that they spew is like this. I mean, there was only one congresswoman that came out and said, "Stop trying to kill our president." That's a Democrat. One. You know, all the rest, no one really says anything. It's just Hakeem Jeffries comes out and he says, "Well, we can't have political violence." Okay, what's it going to last? 2 days before they start calling him a Nazi and
exactly.
You know, that's. And they don't get it. You have these unhinged people out there that really believe it. When you pump it into their heads over and over and over again.
Exactly.
I mean, look at Charlie Kirk was killed for that reason, because they talked about him like that. I mean, the 3 attempts on Donald Trump's life. You look at the one congressman that was shot and had the baseball field. Yes, yeah. And that was because of rhetoric that Bernie Sanders put out there.
Right.
You know, and listen, did he mean it? No, Bernie Sanders, I don't believe he did it at all. But he has to understand there are crazies out there that they voted for you. You know, they voted for you. They look at you as someone like someone to look up to, a leader. And if your leader says this, and then you're like, oh well, I got to do something about this because they're saying this, you know, and in their crazy minds, they're like, I'm going to save the country by going and killing them.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Which legislator came out and said something about that?
I should have wrote it down. I was listening to it on the radio today. It was a woman, congressman, that came out and said, you know, stop trying to kill our president. You guys, all listeners out there, if you look it up, you'll find it.
Well, that's a good thing then. That's a good thing. So, yeah.
And then you have Fetterman too. Fetterman's out there saying the same thing, but it was the first one other than Fetterman that actually said, stop trying to kill our president. I mean, common sense.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, you know, there's the political scene is so divisive now. It's crazy. It used to be, you know, Republicans and Democrats would disagree during the day and, you know, break bread at night. They'd have beer together. You know what I mean? It's not like that anymore. There's so much division and hate. I mean, you can't even get past it anymore. It's disgusting. So
it's like being on a job site. I mean, you were a union electrician and a union carpenter. Yeah. You can be face to face screaming at someone on a job site, disagreeing with them, and then right after that, lunchtime, let's go grab some lunch, grab a beer.
Exactly.
It was that simple. But now it's like it's so deep rooted in the hatred. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what if there's a remedy out there for this. I don't even know.
I'll give you one remedy because I'm about to play. We have a bunch of clips in this segment. So one remedy is to get rid of people like this. So let's roll this first clip. It's coming up.
Empires never die quietly, and we must end the American empire regardless. But we must manage the retreat of a superpower from the world stage. This is a challenge for our time. Actually, this is the challenge for our time. Because if we do not do this, then the American empire will come to an end in a much more...
So that Stephen Powell of crap right there is Hassan Piker. This guy, he came from money, rich guy, hates the United States, and he's got a podcast and he's famous. And a lot of people on the left listen to him. We're going to play a bunch of clips with this guy because he is just the epitome of evil, and that's causing it. Hates the United States, but he's here. Get rid of him. Number one. Let's start with that. That's how we fix it.
Yes. Get rid of everybody that ignites this hatred and this violence. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. I don't even understand it. You can't even talk like human beings anymore. You just can't. It just doesn't exist. There's no more debate anymore. People get mad and just want to shoot you or stab you or something. It's crazy. So
yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I think we may have talked about this before, but me and our great producer behind the scenes there went to the Tesla dealership. Those protests when they're having back in, it was like last March or something like that, or about a year ago almost. Yeah, yes, it was. It was almost exactly a year ago. It was the end of April. Those people were paid to be out there, and they were hateful. They were saying all kinds of stuff, and they wouldn't have a conversation with you. They had their team following you around. Say, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. And then when people would actually engage with you and talk to you, as soon as you ask them a serious question, they shut down immediately. You're a fascist. You're a pig. I'm like, I only asked you a question. Like, what's the definition of fascism? And they just shut down.
Yeah, they just that just means they don't know how to answer the question. That's all.
Yeah.
So they're just it's repeated rhetoric. That's all it is. I mean, it's just these. I guess you could say memorized talking points. That everybody just spouts out and it just repeats, and it's a vicious cycle. You know what I mean? I mean, somebody could start saying something, some quote, some negative quote, and you'll start seeing it on signs where the protesters are, and it's kind of like it's almost like a network, where they repeated talking points and all this BS rhetoric instead of just trying to come to an understanding or an agreement. They just I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, the Democrats are supposed to be the party of tolerance, and patience, and they're the first ones to pull out guns. I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it a little while? It wasn't that long ago that they were kind of like against the Second Amendment. Now all of a sudden they have guns. How did that happen?
Yeah, now it's okay to have guns now, dude. As long as the crazies have them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, that's it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if you ever heard me talk about it before. That Tesla dealer. When I got out of my truck, I was going to be our producer, and the buses pulled up, and they had all these people being bussed in, and they were handing out flyers and vouchers, and it said what to say. So I kind of mingled in with one of the groups, and they handed it to me. And then the guy asked me, "What group are you with?" I said, "I'm by myself. I'm just walking up there to see what's going on." He's like, "Oh no! You got to take it. I need that back." I said, "No."
What?
Yeah, I was like, "You're not getting it back," because it was a voucher to collect your $250 and Cooper
Are you
River Indivisible, and it also had what to say. Musk is a fascist. Trump is a fascist. It had
Oh
like
my.
all the literature there. Yeah. So I was like, "You're not getting this back, buddy. I'm sorry." And like he said, "No, we don't have enough." I said, "Well, you should have gave it to me then. You're not getting it back." But I should have went and collected my $250 actually.
Yeah. Yeah, they would have never have known, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they keep talking about all this hatred that the spirit and all the rhetoric that goes on. I think this next one it goes with Hollywood too, and I think this next clip that we're going to play, I believe this one is Jimmy Kimmel. If it's not, we'll talk about what it is. I forget what
Oh, that guy, Jimmy Kimmel. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking
well, basically, but that's Hassan Piker. So I forgot about this one was next because we have another clip of him. It's a montage. It's going to be coming up. Hassan Piker saying, "Let him soak in their red capitalist blood," as we said. And this guy's he's rich. He came from money. He's worth a lot of money. You'll see another clip of this other woman talking about stealing from Whole Foods, and she lives in a $2.5 million house, in New York. And it's just like they talk about chaos. These leftists, they talk about chaos. This is what I do. They'd be the first ones to run behind their gated fences in their gated community and just let the chaos happen outside. And just they talk this game and spew this rhetoric. But I'm telling you, man, I wish I could have 5 minutes in a room with them.
It's sad because the woke or the extreme left of the party seems to be taken over. The moderates, there's still moderates out there, moderate Democrats that, think like kind of like us, but I don't know, for some reason that the socialistic wing of that party is more attractive, I guess, to the younger generation. I guess. I don't know.
It is. It's because it's trending. You have things in social media next, and we just put it. DiSilvio just put it up there. It was from Donald. He said, "I grew up in California. The worst things got was if it was." Oh, he just put it back up there. The worst things got was if it's brown flushing. Compare that to these comments. I didn't finish. I didn't get to the end yet until I said. Nice comment, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, man, it's getting crazy, man. And so I want to roll through this next clip too, because we got a lot to talk about in the next segment too, with Gloucester County and the commissioners and people that are running as well. So, but let's roll this next clip.
Okay.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history.
Yeah, another loser blaming Trump getting elected for Charlie Kirk's death. So imagine that.
Who was it?
We have to bring it back up again. His name's man, I'm so bad with names, man. I really am. So, yeah. So yeah, he was on, but Piers Morgan was on there. They got a big argument over it, and this dude, he's a big lefty. His name is I'm sorry, folks out there. I got to write this stuff down because I'm horrible with names. I really am.
It looks like there's a couple conservatives on that board, though, except that girl. I forget her name, but she shows up on that CNN show with Abby Phillips and Scott Jennings.
Yeah, right.
She's on that. She's kind of like an extreme left person. She is. So, but
yeah,
I don't know who that other guy is, though.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. Like I said, I'm horrible with names, and I apologize. But I put these shows together right beforehand. But yes, and I don't even want to remember his name. I don't even want to give him I don't even want to say his name. He doesn't deserve it on this podcast.
Yeah,
because he's one of those people. So it's just disgusting person that doesn't care about it.
Isn't it kind of funny? Like these people that come out and say they want to see you drenched in capitalist blood. How do you think that they're making their money right now? These people are following them through a capitalistic structure.
Yeah,
They're stupid. Whatever. It does. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, go ahead.
yeah. There's more. We got a couple more clips. Let's roll through them. So
Okay.
Let's roll the next one.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow.
Oh, cut off.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Now that was right. That was right before the third assassination attempt of Trump. You have a glow like an expected widow. That's Jimmy Kimmel. A lot of people listen to him. I mean, not really a lot, but enough. You know, because his ratings are in the basement. But still, people listen to him. You're the glow like an expected widow.
Well, the crowd laughed, which bothers me. So, I mean, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
How do you laugh at something like that? That's disgusting. But,
yeah. Imagine he said something like that about Obama or Biden. You know, pushing people. Yeah, you're going to be a widow soon. After 2 assassination attempts, and then the third followed after that comment. I mean, come on. I mean, that guy's got to be off the air. I mean, seriously.
And you know what? There's a huge difference between what's going on now and how me and you had to deal with Obama and Biden. But we tried. How do I say this? We still wanted what's best for America. Do you know what I mean? We still wanted what's best for this country. We didn't want to see the president fail at anything because, you know, we're supposed to be proud Americans. At least I am. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. But what I'm saying is you have to kind of like conform into, you know, if you don't like the president, you still want to see him succeed because you want the country to succeed. You know what I mean? What's going on now is utterly ridiculous. They just want to see him dead. They don't like America. God forbid if you fly a flag on your lawn, because then you're considered MAGA. It's an American flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, what the hell?
I know.
But anyway, go on. I can go on for this for like hours. But go on with your next segment.
No. Well, the thing is, you're right about that. And the thing is, I wasn't a fan of Biden. I wasn't a fan of Obama. But I didn't want them to fail, like you said. It's just like there's people out there that are hoping that we fail in Iran. You have elected officials out there, you know, when they had a report that some ships got around the blockade, saying, "Oh, awesome!" He was happy. It's like, come on, like, how do you expect your? That's something that's a kick in the ass out of the country. If you want the country to fail, you might not like your leader, and maybe you didn't elect them. I didn't elect, Biden or Obama, but I didn't want them to fail. I wanted a good stock market. I wanted the protection of our borders. I wanted to make my family my family was going to be safe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if I didn't agree with their policies and I thought they hurt different things and we disagreed, I still want them to do their damn job. But they just want to kill them. You know,
it's crazy. It's really crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, here I think we have 2 more clips in this segment. We'll roll them coming up.
Okay.
I'd probably pay for their meal.
Yeah. Would you steal from Whole Foods?
You want to go first?
Yes. And I have, under very specific circumstances. I think that stealing from a big box store, I'll just state my platform. Mm-hmm. It's neither very significant as a moral wrong, nor is it significant in any way as protest or direct action. But I did steal from.
So this woman's rich, all right, and then they're all part of the movement of you steal from these big companies and stuff like that because it's the right thing to do. They don't even think about it. They don't think, oh, I'm going to steal, and then what happens? The price of everything goes up. So regular people that go in there can't afford to buy it because the price of the product goes up, and then they promote it, steal it. So say a single mother goes in there who barely afford to buy anything anyway. Single mother. She goes and shoplifts. She gets arrested. What happens to the kid? And that's what they promote. These are people who live in their gated communities that are rich and they think they're cool saying this stuff, and people watch this bullshit.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. They get views. I
don't know, man.
I don't really know, man. I've never stole a thing in my life, so I don't even understand that philosophy. So, I was always taught you work, you pay for what you work, you make money, and you pay for whatever you want with your own money. So I don't understand that. I can't relate. So.
I don't either. I remember one time my son actually stole a little plush toy out of Disney World. One time we were in a store. He was in his coats. He was 1 year old, and my mom was pushing him around, and he just reached out and grabbed it. So they get out of the store, and I'm like, "Oh, mom, is he born?" It's like, "No, he must have stole it." She's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna run him back to the store right away." I was thinking, I said, it's a little too late now. We're a little far away from the store, but whatever. He got away with it. That was an accident. He was 1 year old. But other than that, I mean, come on, these people are insane. But yeah, I'm going to just roll this last clip, and we'll play that. We'll talk about it for a second, and then we'll go into the next.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it. We totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods.
Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the is this shit, man? Slice them up. Regardless of your background, any kind of Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a rabid neo-Nazi. Doesn't matter if rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements. I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah bays. I mean, listen, these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million. Like, it's not a broken clock situation. He's read more books than you could ever imagine. And also, ultimately, he is regarded as a pretty brilliant a person in terms of, like, everything that he's done.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
So that guy's a winner, huh? So I don't want to allude to the end of the show who's going to, but spoiler alert, who's getting the loser of the week. That dude needs to go. I can imagine, and that you know as well as I do, put him in a room with you or I for a second and have him say something like that.
Oh, yeah.
He would cower to his knees in a second.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I mean,
does he have a lot of followers?
He has a ton of followers.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Millions.
Oh, unbelievable.
And that's the rhetoric that he spews out there, and people listen to it. Young people listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say he talks a good game. Put him in a cage with a UFC fighter for a minute, and then we'll air that live. See what happens. See how tough he is then.
Why don't we just move him to Iran?
Yeah, he's from. He's from Iran? No, he's from over there. That's where born here, but his family's from there. He lived over there. Born here, lived over there.
See how much you like it. He's making a lot of money in this country on a capitalistic system. You know what I mean? So, and he's good. He's got a lot of guts calling us neo-Nazis. Well, what is he doing? Does he even know what that word means? I mean, come on, man. And people are just buying this rhetoric and just repeating it. They have no idea what they're talking about. None. So,
and that's why you have the divide in this country, and that's why you have crazy people trying to kill our president 3 times.
Exactly.
So, basically, what it is.
Yeah.
So, right, Nick. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to dive into some Gloucester County stuff. And we're going to talk about, you are Commissioner DiSilvio, Gloucester County, and only one other Republican. Which way? I'll let you talk about it too. You guys ran together. I'll let you tell a story how it happened. How you guys actually won in Republican, won as Republican in a heavily blue district, which Gloucester is actually turning a little bit red, a lot of red actually now. So, but well, Chris Conwell and your running mate. But let's take a break. We'll talk about all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So
that was a quick break.
That was a little short one. That's like a 20-second excerpt of the song that I made. But we'll play that full in the end. But I mean, I want to start with one question. Like in Gloucester County, shocked a lot of people with Republican gains in recent years. What changed and how do Republicans keep that momentum going, like you guys have been doing?
Well, when Chris and I first started, we started in 2020, and then we were joined by George Shivery. He was the mayor of Gibbstown, and I was coming from the Board of Education. I had served on the Board of Education for 6.5 years, 7 years, and they asked me to be a candidate, and it was me, Chris, and George in 2020, and we were kind of like new to the fundraising thing. We were new to a lot of political things, really. When you're on the Board of Ed, it's not really as political, until you step up to county, either county positions or, committee or council. Then it starts becoming political, and then you're kind of like thrown into the mix. You know what I mean? And you just gotta do your best. And we didn't really have a lot of money. But we walked our rear ends off, and that's pretty much all I could say. Is like I'm not going to say I'm like a sensei, like I got all the answers, but we just worked it. We worked it hard. We knocked on doors. We handed out a lot of literature. I want to say the year that we lost in 20. And it was really close. A lot of people weren't expecting it. And in 21, we ran again, but there was only 2 seats. It was just Chris and I. George didn't want to run, so it was Chris and I who ran again in 21. And I want to say, let me say, there's about 85 or 89,000 independents in Gloucester County at the time, and I want to say we hit probably, like, believe it or not, 50,000 houses that year. So we were relentless. I mean, I don't think we had a day off from the end of August until Election Day, and there was a lot of volunteers. There was other towns that came in to help us and to hand out our literature, but for the most part, it was just busting our rear ends just to knock on doors. And that's pretty much what it took. And me and Chris are workers. We walked a lot. I know you're going to walk a lot. But yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, you get a car salesman and an electrician who won in Gloucester County. So as Republicans.
Did he give away free cars and you give away free side work for electrical work? Is that your pitch?
I give free side work.
So, because I was going to say I could do it too, but I won't have enough time. I'll be hanging doors for people and putting floors in and everything else. But no, that's good, man. It's awesome. I mean, I know you guys worked hard to get where you're at, and in a very deep blue district. I mean, Gloucester, you guys have flipped Gloucester towards red more. I mean, Trump won Gloucester County, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
But he lost New Jersey by 5 points, but he did win in Gloucester County. So, so there was some movement there, and and I see what's Donald W. Before saying he ran for mayor, raised quite a bit of money for his campaign. Now, well, Donald, and I raised approximately 28 cents per person in the city I ran in. 28 cents. Well, I'm sure that's probably quite a bit of money.
I can't see it. What does it say?
Yeah, he said he ran. He raised. There it should be there, but he raised approximately 28 cents per person in the city where he ran. So I mean, I'm sure it's a lot. There's a lot of people there that less amount of money, but New Jersey is a different animal. Donald, it's a very different animal.
Yeah.
We just got walloped in November. We thought Jack Ciaroli was going to win. You know, first we were back at Spady. I know I was anyway. Then that went completely south. And Jack got in, and Jack got walloped, and not just in New Jersey, Virginia too, and New York City as well. I mean, there was a lot of races out there where Democrats, just spanked us, and a lot of Republicans spent a lot of money on those races. So now with the leftovers, it is really, really hard to raise money right now. That's why I tell everybody right now, I'll throw the plug in there right now. Go to votedamongaldo.com and click on that donate button, because I need to raise money. I'm going up against Juggernaut and Donald Norcross, and it's got a ton of money, but I'm going right for him. So,
well, the year that Chris and I won in 21, we didn't have a big budget, honestly. We had a few fundraisers, but there really wasn't a lot of money to be had. And the Democrats that year, I remember it was like $950,000 they had this, and we were on a shoestring budget, like maybe 35 grand. It was enough to get us some literature, and then we had to do the rest of the work. We had to walk. So, and that was the first time since 2010 that Republicans had won in Gloucester County. And then when we ran in 24, we had the same routine that we had in 21, and we won again. We won re-election, and it's been like since 1982 since a Republican won a re-election in Gloucester County. So, and it was really a shame last year. I thought the two candidates were going to win last year.
Yeah.
For some reason, the turnout wasn't as. The Democrats had a larger turnout than the Republicans. So
they always do. I mean, but it shocked me in Gloucester County though, because Republicans have been turning out a lot more. But in like Camden County, everywhere else, like even like for commissioner and assembly seats that we needed. I think we needed 13 seats to have the assembly, and then we lost 6. So
yes,
we're negative 19 now. I mean, so it went backwards. And Republicans didn't come out that much in Gloucester County. That is a major issue. And when people complain about it, say, well, we lost, we got beat. Well, you didn't come out to vote. You have to come out to vote. That's very important. I mean, people think your vote doesn't count, even though we have less Republicans than there are Democrats. Still, your vote still counts. We need independents too. I mean, independents side with us, and Democrats side with us sometimes too. I mean, it's just common sense. You get a regular Democrat out there that's common sense. You're like, yeah, they're a little nuts over there. I'm not voting for them. They want to.
We definitely concentrated on 24. We concentrated heavily on the independents and the soft Dems. There was a few people. I mean, when you're knocking on these doors too, the unaffiliated and independents, they have a lot of questions. And they're pretty smart voters. You can't pull the wool over their eyes. So, just be prepared to answer questions, for them.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're unaffiliated and independent. It's like they don't want to pick a side. They want someone to sell them why they're going to vote for you,
exactly.
A Democrat or a Republican.
Exactly.
That's
right.
What it is.
Well, one guy flat out told me. I remember he said, "Yeah, I like to see a bipartisan board, so you guys got my vote." Just something to that effect. Or one lady actually walked outside and said a prayer for us. I thought that was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal experience. I mean, you get so many. You get to talk to so many people, and you get these pretty interesting circumstances that happen, and hopefully you live to talk about it. So
Yeah. No, you're right about that. So I know I got a lot of questions for you. That I know we talked about a bunch of stuff before last time you were on, and I just because for the sake of time, I want to go into something, skip over a couple of things that I want to talk to you about, but I want to talk about West Effort. That's where I live in West Effort, and with the schools. So, so basically, I want to talk about like what's happening now. School taxes are going up, so. And so are property taxes. Everything's going up around here, as you know. And now I know you guys, you and Chris will always talk about how, as long as you have been in, you guys kept that at bay. Taxes didn't go up. You kept the budget clean and all that stuff. It didn't go up at all. Now it's starting to. And I'm just wondering, what do you think the reasons are? Because if you look at it, the schools are getting a 3.65 tax increase. That's for the schools, which is going to go up it's like $311 more per year for each child, actually, in the school system, which is a lot. I mean, and they're going to, at the same time, they're cutting 15 staff positions. This is West Effort. I'm still on West Effort. That's it. 15 staff positions are getting cut. They're cutting middle school basketball, all the clubs at Greenfields, all the clubs at the middle school, administrative benefits they're cutting, nursing supplies, IT overtime, classroom technology supplies, special education services lines, all getting cut. So parents are asking, why are we paying more while our kids are losing programs?
Right.
Because my property taxes are going up in June. They're going to skyrocket, but my kids are going to lose these programs.
Well, there's a couple questions that you have there. Let me answer the first one.
Sure.
For the first 4 years that Chris and I were on the commissioner board, the tax rate was flat. So there was a 0% tax increase for the first 4 years. This year, they hired Sweeney, and now the taxes are going up. Of course, Chris and I voted no to the budget because they actually voted to increase the tax cap before they voted on the budget. And we had to vote no to both of them. So everything was, going smoothly. And then we changed our administrator, and now the taxes are going up. Okay, that's your first question. The second question, the only answer I have for you is when I was on the Board of Education, the biggest draw, I guess you could say, on the school budget was the teachers' benefits. Now I don't know how far it's advanced since I've been gone from the Board of Education, but that's pretty much the biggest, I guess you could say, expenditure for the budget is the benefits for the teachers. So my answer to you would be, I think that the reason why they're cutting all these programs is because they didn't get the amount of money they thought they were going to get from the state, for their budget. So now they have to make cuts, and plus the fact they're paying their benefit packages have increased, and that's why if they're not getting the money from the state, they're gonna have the taxpayers increase, the tax levy or their tax base. So there's the one stopper to all that is if you had people who were concerned about the tax increases on your boards of educations, they could actually vote no to the budget, and they could reduce that tax burden. If you have conservative thinking board of ed members. So yeah, but that's what we did when I was on my board. We were shooting for a 0% tax increase every year. But now the same school board that I was on, I heard it's going up to 8%. I was like, what? Yeah. They have to increase the budget the tax levy by 8%. So I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, these are some numbers I'm looking at too. Now, right, about the salary increases, they increased by 1.2 million. Now they're union contracts that they have for the 5-year contract or so, and then 1.2 million. That's not per teacher, obviously. There's listeners out there. That's cumulative for all the teachers and what their salary goes up. Now, yeah, with inflation, salaries should go up. Should go up for everybody because salaries should catch up with the inflation because Biden killed us on that with 24% inflation, and the middle class got screwed big time. They raised the minimum wage 85% when the middle class wages only went up 22 since 2018, 22% since 2018. So, but we had 24% inflation, so the middle class got screwed. We had a net loss, but minimum wage skyrocketed, which hurts middle class even more. But that's a different story. So yeah, but my point is, okay, do we deserve a raise in wages? Sure, I'm okay with that. But then you look at it, what's driving up the biggest cost is $1.9 million. It's employee healthcare cost increase.
Exactly.
So yeah, and where I'm going to go with this, I've been looking into it. As you know, we are now codified in law as a sanctuary state. Before we weren't. It was an executive order, but still the same deal. We're still a sanctuary state because of an executive order by Murphy. Now it's codified in the law. So now that's what we are. We have like 900,000 illegal immigrants in the state, and we pay $7.3 billion in taxes. Just our state taxes alone. Every taxpayer cumulative pays $7.3 billion. So we're paying for the illegals for their health care and all that. And listen, I'm not saying anything bad about somebody gets sick. Don't treat them. Someone that's pregnant, having a baby, don't help them with the baby. But it shouldn't be here to begin with. You're putting a burden on the people of the state of New Jersey, and we're struggling as it is. Everyone feels it. Everyone I talk to, my neighbors. Shit, I feel it. It's hard to make your mortgage payment. It's hard to pay for everything. It's hard to pay for everything, and now we're losing stuff from all the programs that my kids had in school that I pay high taxes for, and they're going to be much higher in June. They're cutting programs. So, and I get it. If you're a legal immigrant, you're here, and you have to have a baby. You're pregnant, go to the hospital. They have to treat you. I talked about this before. This is 7 years ago. Well, more than 7. He's almost 8 now, my son. It was $44,000, and that's what my insurance paid, and I had like a $6,000 or $3,000 co-payment. So it's basically $50,000 to have a baby. So people that are here illegally that don't have any of that insurance, they go to have a baby. They go out. Who's paying for it? The doctors aren't doing it for free. And it's not like they can get on Medicaid or anything like that. They have to treat them. So who's paying for it? So what does the hospital do? They increase the rates of people being seen in the hospital so they can recoup the money. And on top of that, then the insurance premiums go up. So 1.9 million is going up for the teachers. That's another reason. So that's only part of the recipe of why our taxes are going up for legal immigrants. There's a lot of bad policies as well that Mikey Sherrill is implementing and everything else. We can get into that in another episode, but that's another reason. Like, why are we paying for this? We're getting killed. Our own children that live here, born here, and we go to work for, try to raise them and give them a great education. They're losing stuff because of the Democrat policies, I would say.
I agree with that. Totally agree with it. Yeah, it's the NJEA is kind of like it's a union. Mm-hmm. It's a public sector union. But when you talk about it, people get mad at you. But unfortunately, their salaries are based off of tax money. So I think that as a taxpayer, you have every right to scrutinize where your tax money is being spent. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anything negative against the teachers. I'm just saying that, at some point, this whole system is going to implode. You know what I mean? These people, it's going to be, the tax burden is going to be so insurmountable that it's just, the whole system is just going to implode. You got, like, for example, I have elementary school and a high school. They both have Board of Educations. I'm probably going to be paying an 8% tax increase from the elementary school. I don't know, 5% from the high school. The county's going up, and then the municipality. I don't know I don't know what the municipal taxes are this year, but I would think, I'm in Franklinville, so it's probably going to be, pretty. It probably won't be any increase. But I'm just saying, you could say, oh well, it's only 5%. Yeah, it's only 5% from one source. Then you have to worry about the other sources, and now you're up to like $800 more a year. And it's just, at some point you're just going to get taxed into oblivion in this state. And another thing you have to worry about is you have to worry about spending. Okay, when you look at a school budget, school budgets are kind of like based on what they expect to spend each year, not what they are spending, but what they expect to spend.
Yeah.
So I guess so that you could, like, at the end of the year, if there's any extra money left over, you have a surplus. But that surplus could actually be used for tax relief. And that's a thing. That's something that nobody ever discusses. That's one of the reasons why you have a surplus, not to put it back into the general fund or the general budget. You could use it for tax relief for the residents. So that's another thing that you can look at when you look at a budget. See if they're operating off of a surplus, if there's any surplus whatsoever. Like the county has a ton of surplus, but they're afraid to spend it. So that was one of my issues. Like we could go back down to a 0% tax increase if we use some of that surplus, But now they're worried about their bond rating, and the bond rating is based on how much surplus you have in your budget,
Yeah.
So, but
it's all
yeah.
It's all it's too much government involved, I would say, number one.
Right.
It's just like the anchor rebates, they give. Like I'm going to get off track. I just want to mention it anyway. The anchor rebates, and everyone, they're giving us an anchor rebate, rebate check for living here. No, don't tax me. I'll just throw a number out there. Don't tax me, $5,000 and then give me $1,000 back. Just tax me to $4,000. It's like it's like a bait and switch. You know what I mean? It's like, and everyone's like, yeah, I'm getting $1,000 back. But no, that was your money anyway. It's like the way they play it is it's horrible. And people fall for it. Because my wife was saying the same thing. She said, we get $1,000 back. Well, how about they didn't take it from us to begin with?
Right.
And dangle the carrot. I'm like, here it is. We're going to need it back. And then everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to vote Democrat now. Because it's giving me $1,000 back.
Yeah. So I don't know. This state is getting worse and worse with property taxes. It's just crazy. I was flipping through my TikTok, and I saw that Greenwald Lou.
Oh.
He was talking about property tax relief, and I'm like, this guy's been in office for like 30 years.
30 years, yep.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and
30.
All of a sudden, he's talking about property tax relief. What the hell is wrong with these people, man?
He bought a bigger house. That's why.
Yep. It's crazy, man.
It is. It's unbelievable. And and thing is, I'll get into it more in the next segment. But yeah, well, you know what? We'll take another quick break. We'll go on to this next segment, and we'll talk about Greenwald. We'll talk about my race as well. But this all ties into it. So let's just take another quick break, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: Join the revolution, because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Shore podcast. It's SURE because we are always sure. And again, everyone that's watching right now, like and subscribe and share. And the chat box in there, I see Alice and Wonderman. Love you, Damon. Thank you. That's my Aunt Alice just posted that in the chat box. Thank you, Aunt Al, for watching. Appreciate it. So you better love me. You're my aunt. So, but so anyway, one thing I want to talk to you about. Well, this is about my race. You know, obviously I'm running for Congress, as you can see back there, Galdo for Congress. Everyone knows that. And
you're running for Congress?
Yes, I am. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. You know, going up against a machine, but you know what? I'm taking it to him. I'm taking the fight to him. Not more than any opponent he's ever seen before. So, so just so you know, he probably doesn't watch this. Maybe his staff does once in a while, but just know it's coming. I'm taking the fight to Norcross hard.
Awesome.
It's only what's right. So, and this is part of to finish what we were talking about the in the last segment. There was a $90 million referendum, in West Effort. And basically it was for, it was upgrades for HVAC, early childhood center that they built, security upgrades, school infrastructure, but $90 million. Now, I'm in construction. You've been in construction as well. It seems like a lot for this very small upgrades they did in a little small facility they built. Like I just built Paco's new state-of-the-art control center, and it's a $30 million project, and state-of-the-art, 30. So 90 for little upgrades in schools and another small building. It's almost like with all the fraud that they're having in Minnesota, California, you look at it, you're like, where's all this money going? All this taxpayer dollars going? And that's what brings me into this, because I mean, if you could, when we're done with this and go look into it, I want to know who the contractors were. I want to know where the money went and what the bids were, because we can look at that and maybe we can Nick Shirley the shit out of it like he's been doing. But seriously, because if you look at the Norcross family, what my opponent Donald Norcross I'm running against, but his family, they were indicted, 13 counts of racketeering, and the reason why they were indicted because there was a ton of money that Donald brought in from federal tax dollars into Camden City, and it was for infrastructure, stuff like that. And like 1.1 billion went through his brother's law firm and went to their ring of developers, where they pushed out private developers and just went into their circle. So that's where you get the indictment of racketeering. Now, listen, I'm not saying that they're guilty, because they were found not guilty, but hey, so whatever it is, then we're going to bring it back up on them again. But there were some statute of limitations issues with it, so they dropped it again in February. But you don't bring that kind of case. You don't go to a judge and say, hey, listen, I want to indict this guy, or his family for 13 counts of racketeering, and the judge says, why? Well, because I want to. No, there's a reason why. You must have evidence. And, they beat it in court. They were found not guilty. So I'm just saying that. But the thing is, with this $90 million referendum here in West Effort, there's something there, because there's a lot to it. I mean, it's when you look at it, it's who benefits while residents keep paying more. If you look at it, we look at South Jersey politics long enough. It's the same names keep showing up: Sweeney, Greenwald, Norcross Circle, connected law firms, connected developers. And I say the public deserves more transparency, because there were so many cases out there that they brought up and they investigated, and then it just got swept under the rug, or they won. Maybe they're innocent. I'm not saying allegedly, just saying what I read. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Just don't sue me, Donald. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying there's a there. So this is.
Well, you do know you're entitled to that information if you Oprah request it, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, for the contractors, I think you can. I'll have to look it up and see.
I quick question though, just to pick out, like, just to ask a few questions about what you were saying. Now, the referendum was held for the school.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that vote? When did that vote happen? Did it happen on election day?
Yes, it did. Yeah, and people voted for it.
And they
I voted against it, but they barely passed.
It. Wow. They voted to approve it?
People voted to approve it. They didn't know what it was. I would say that. I mean, I'm just speculating that most people didn't know what it was. I looked into it. My wife and I voted against it. But it won by a small margin. And it went through, and it was just a small little, building that they built for pre-K or whatever it was, or kindergarten. And then they did some upgrades with HVAC and maybe a new roof for the school. I mean, $90 million is a lot. It's a lot of money. And I know the companies that were involved in it were, let's see, Land Associates, the Early Childhood Center was a standalone major contract. But I don't know who won the contracts, who the lowest bidders were, like how many change orders followed, because they hide a lot of stuff in that. They might be a low bidder and they're coming, and then they make all these big change orders. I'm in construction. I know how it goes, and that's how they hide money. And I'm just curious. I mean, again, I'm not accusing that the people I just named, the Land Association, I don't know who they are. I'm not accusing them of anything. I'm just saying this is the stuff that I found. I'm looking into it. Because I want to know. I want to know where the money came from, where the money went, what was actually built, like the materials that they put forward to it, because there's a lot of it going on. I mean, you see it in Camden all the time. Camden has been, that's the Norcross's bread and butter, I would say. They love Camden. That's their sweet spot. And Camden City, I was just there yesterday. It still looks like crap. I was talking to the people, and they're so upset with Norcross. They're so upset with the way everything is. For more than half a century, they were trying to build up Camden. But you have there was a lot of corruption in Camden. I mean, you have mayors that went to prison and everything else. And Camden has been used and abused for a long time. It's been a hub for like money laundering. And this is stuff that's been proven. So I just got to put that out there and say it again. Stuff has been proven. I'm not saying that anybody else did anything if they were found not guilty. So I don't want to get sued because I know they'll come after me.
I worked on a few of those Camden revitalization projects. There was a lot of work down there for a while. Yeah. Generally, the locals, they're happy if they're working, okay? But they don't want to know about all the extracurricular stuff. You know what I mean? Like all the people making money off of like tax credits, putting it in their pocket, stuff like that. They just want to know, do we have work for a full year? Do we have work to the end of the year? You know what I mean? They don't really care what other people are doing. But, from I guess a layman looking at all this situation. See, I grew up poor and technically I still am. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't try to make money, using, I don't even know how to express it. I don't like to corruptly make money, because that would bother me. Like my conscience would bother me.
Yeah.
If I was making money. And the worst part about this whole situation is the Democrats are supposed to be the party of the poor. Now they've become the party of the elite now because they're making all this money. It's crazy. It really is. You should see some of the salaries for on the county. It's crazy.
But Sweeney, he's almost $300,000 a year.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Right. $284,000.
Yeah.
And, the deputy, administrator, Michelle Coriel's not too far away from that. So, it's just that the salaries are crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, well, we talked about it before. Well, a couple different meetings I was at. Sweeney makes more than the vice president of the United States. He makes more than the vice president of the United States. The vice president represents over 330 million people. That's who he represents. Steve Sweeney represents 300,000 people.
I know.
And he makes more than the vice president.
You're preaching to the choir.
Who's getting shot at with Trump? It's like, come on.
I asked, at reorg when he was nominated as the administrator, I had a whole bunch of questions, and my questions were stopped, and the county council said there isn't a more qualified person to take this job as Steve Sweeney. And then the audience from The View stood up, and I felt they tried to make me feel like a little ant. You know what I mean? Because they were all like a standing ovation. I thought I was on The View. It was just, and of course, Chris and I voted no. So, I mean, I don't understand why he's got to start out at $284,000. That doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean, it's insane, and it really is. And when you look up and down the state of New Jersey, not even just talking about Gloucester County, Camden County, up and down the state, people are struggling. I mean, I know a lot of people live in New Jersey. I do too. My whole entire family. There's a lot of
except for the Democrats, they're not struggling.
What? Yeah. It's either they vote for us, we'll give you everything for free, and we'll take it from but yeah, I know. I mean, you look at it, it's insane. Really, I mean, I just got to throw this in here one more time. Again, I did it last podcast. Omar, she was reported she was worth like $6 to $30 million, and then she was getting investigated, and then she amended her taxes and said, no, she's worth $18 to $95,000. So that's a pretty huge drop in a couple months. Oh, what accountant messes that up? No, I'm worth $30 million. No, you're not. You're worth $18,000.
She's blaming it on her accountant now.
Yeah, what accountant would make that mistake? I mean, come on. It's right in front of your face. Like they shove it right in your face.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
It's the same thing with Sweeney. Same with Norcross. It's right in front of your face. They don't care. They get away with it. They don't care. It's right in front of your face, and nobody does anything about it. And the thing is, that's why I had to do this podcast. That's why I'm so glad that you came on tonight to talk about stuff like this, because people need to know. People need to know what's going on. And I don't blame people for not doing the research that I did with all this research and stuff like that, and all the questions I had, and putting the show together, and our producer putting this show together. But I don't blame them for not wanting to do it. It's hard. It takes a lot. But once people see it and they realize that this is really what's going on, then they may change their mind. They might say, "Wait a second, we're voting for the wrong people."
You think?
Yeah, but it's just getting to the people that's the hardest part. There's not enough time in the day. And when you have the mainstream media that just blast the same stuff over and over again. Even my mother-in-law watches these podcasts too, so she's probably going to yell at me tomorrow when she sees this. But she's even brainwashed by the mainstream media. And, she is. She thinks Norcross is a good man. Well, okay. Because he held a check, one of those big publisher clearinghouse checks. Remember how they used to have those big ones, the big cardboard ones like that? And it was donating $85,000 to whatever it was. I forget what cause it was. And it said his name with the top down Norcross. And I said, he didn't donate that. I'm like, that was taxpayer dollars. He just had his name on it. He probably shouldn't be allowed to have his name on it. But she thought out of the kindness of his heart, he took $85,000 out of his money and donated it. I'm like, no. Like, look it up. That's your tax dollars. So, but people believe it,
Yeah. It's just crazy. Like let me tell you this quick story. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but
No, that's fine.
Recently at some of the meetings that we've been having, there's some GCIT Gloucester County Institute of Technology teachers that were complaining about meeting their salary demands for a contract. And during the public section, section of the meeting, they got up and expressed their feelings that they'd like to have a contract. Well, I guess our administrator had said, well, if we can come up with another $250,000, that we could meet your demands.
Okay.
So Commissioner Conwell said, well, maybe if all the administration took a 20% cut, we can give it to the teachers. Well, that didn't go over too well.
I don't think so.
No. But here's another thing. A couple months ago, there was a bid that had went out for vendors to take over for bogies, and I guess they have like a yearly contract. Well, one of the vendors offered a revenue source of $300,000 to rent bogies and to run it, and it's a very reputable company that owns golf courses,
Mm-hmm.
and they just ignored that bid and decided to take give it to one of their friends, and we would get $30,000 a year instead of $300,000. Now, my first thought was, if we would have taken that bid that was going to offer us $300,000, there's the money for the teachers right there. But no, we had to give it to I voted no, by the way, to that, because I thought that we should make more revenue on renting out bogies. But they gave it to a friend, and we didn't make as much money. So I always hearken back to that month where we talked about that, and they just said, well, that company isn't reputable. And I'm like, they own 5 golf courses. What are you talking about? So I don't if that's, like, if I'm thinking about where the $250,000 we can come up with to help these teachers out, there it is right there. So, it's just issues like that like really, that irk me. So, and it's a constant bickering every single meeting, Yeah. I saw a Facebook response in a local Facebook group, and the guys were and somebody responded to the effect that, oh, the Republicans in Gloucester County, all they do is just they get controlled by the Democrats, and they do whatever they say. And I'm like, you can come to a meeting, bro. It's far from that. So
no, they're just outnumbered.
Yeah, that's it.
They're just outnumbered. So that's why
it's always pretty much always a 5-2 vote too. So
yeah, that's the thing. So it's not like you're doing what they say. You're outnumbered, and that's what brings me up. Before I forget, I want to bring up the ones that are running in Gloucester County for commissioner. If you want to touch on them, the candidates that are up.
Oh yeah, we have a very reputable individual. His name is Martino Cartier.
He was on the podcast.
Yeah, that was a good interview, by the way. He was he runs a nonprofit called Wigs to Wishes. He's also a hairstylist, and he has a zoo. Not really.
He's got like a farm / zoo.
Yeah. He's got like wild animals, and he takes stuff. So
he's not your hairstylist, though. I could tell.
We have an ex-councilwoman named Catherine Falcone. She's got a lot of experience in government issues, governance. She's really smart, and she really knows what she's talking about as far as budgets and how to spend money. And then we got our third candidate is Barbara McCormick. She's a nurse, and she's also a veteran who served in the Air Force for 30 years. So, and she was also a nurse in the military. So she's I think she's a pretty more than qualified with that background. I'm excited about the ticket. The incumbents are pretty popular. Jim Jefferson, Joanne Gattinelli, and Matt Wang. But I think that once we start hitting the campaign trail, I think people are going to realize that we have the better ticket. So, let's cross our fingers, because if we get control, we can change a lot of things in Gloucester County. Everything that everybody's talking about will go away. Within the first week of us taking over. So
you're right about that, man. It's common sense, man. It's really common sense issues, and it's just getting the people to hear you. Because we're so divided, Democrat, Republican, and like we talked about before, independents look to see who they want to vote for, but it's just common sense issues. Like, do you want the kids to have these school programs? Do you want your property taxes to go up? Do you want to pay Steve Sweeney $285,000 a year for nothing? Do you want? I mean, think about it. I mean, let's just make sense of it. So, and then,
hey, he's more than qualified. Come on, man.
You make me fall off my chair. So, but and I could tell Martino, you got to see him more because he's definitely not your hairstylist, I could say.
Yo, man, my hair left me a long time ago, bro.
Just like the Democrat Party left me a long time ago.
Yeah,
but mine's it's going. It's going. So I'm getting close. So, but hopefully I get elected to Congress with some hair on my head before it goes.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad always told me. It was a long time ago. I want to say it was like mid to early 70s. He was a union pipe fitter, and he always told me the Democrats were for the poor and the Republicans were for the rich, and like we never had any money. And back then, maybe that was the case. Maybe that was true.
Maybe it was. I was told the same thing.
But nowadays, that's flipped.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really understand why poor people still vote Democrat. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just doesn't.
They just keep them down. That's what it is. They keep them down more and more and say, hey, we'll give you this, dangle this little carrot in front of your face for a vote right before the election. And after that, they just kick them to the curb until the next election, and then dangle another carrot.
And all these, some of the things really crack me up. Like, I was watching a debate for New Jersey. I think it was 11, where Joe Hathaway ran against the socialist girl.
Oh yeah.
And her thing was, we need to tax more of the rich people. And my thought was, I don't think there's any rich people left in New Jersey because you just taxed them out of this friggin' state.
And you taxed them when they left with exit tax.
It's a great talking point and a great message, but there's no rich people left in this state because you taxed them all.
I know. I can't get anyone to donate to my campaign because there's nobody with money. So.
It's nuts, man.
So, but all right, well, Nick, listen, we're going to take a real quick break, and this last segment is a very quick one about the Patriot and Loser Week Award, and then we'll just talk for a moment or so, and then we'll exit out of this. But I'll take a quick break.
All right, thanks.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
All right, we're back. So I guess Nick, I told him a quick break. He's probably thought it was going to be a little bit longer. It looks like he ran for a pee break. But so when Nick comes back, we're going to get – well, you know what? Before we do the Patriots and Losers Award, let me roll out the candidates throughout New Jersey. We've done this before. So let's roll that. All right, here we go. We have Justin Murphy for U.S. Senate. Justin there's his website, QR code. You can go and see what he's about. Justin has a big battle, not just in the primary. He does have one in the primary, big battle. So go to his website, help him out, vote for him, and then when and hopefully when he wins the primary, he's going up against Cory Booker. So that's going to be a fight that's probably just about as hard as mine is going to be. I'm lucky enough not to have a primary at this point, but it's Justin Murphy for U.S. Senate. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is an important one right here. This is Damon Galdo for Congress. So, so that's my website there. And by the way, everyone, I'm having a fundraiser May 17th. It's at the Sons of Italy in Paulsboro. So the flyer is going to go out shortly. I'll put it on every social media platform, and it'll be on the next podcast as well. I didn't have it ready for this one to actually show it, but Sons of Italy, May 17th. It's a Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. in Paulsboro, New Jersey. So I will get all the information out there. So please save the date for that. So let's go to the next candidate. And there's Van Drew. You just saw Van Drew in the last break and called me the real deal. I was a little, giddy about that. He called me the real deal. All right, I guess I am. Thanks, Van Drew. You're my man. So, no, Van Drew's a great guy. He's an awesome congressman, and he is a man of the people. Like, he remembers everybody. He talks to everybody. He listens to people. He's not like a Norcross that just ignores people all the time. He's not hated. He's loved. He's a man of the people. So that's Jeff Van Drew, Congressman Van Drew. Then Jason Cullen. Jason Cullen, he's running in CD3. Jason is an awesome guy. He's been on the podcast many times. He was just in studio with our great producer, made some videos there. Jason is doing well. He's got two primary opponents. One of them is a friend of mine too, but I was up with Jason before that, before I knew he was running. But Jason is the man. This guy, he has it. Trust me. Look at his videos on Facebook. Look at his videos on all social media platforms. Go to his events, and you'll see what he's about. I mean, he has it, and he cares about the people. So here you go, Chris Smith. Chris Smith, actually, I think he's good, actually. But still get out and vote for him. I think he's the safest in all this. But do not stay at home, and do not think that he is. And still get out and vote for him. We need to keep him in. So the next one. So Hillary Herzig, she was on the podcast too. Great, awesome woman. She is amazing. She's a fighter. I wouldn't want to go up against her, but make sure we get out the vote for Hillary. Then we have Tom Keene. So Keene, he might have a little bit of a fight in his race, but I think he's going to be okay as well, as long as Republicans get out to vote for him, and independents as well, and Democrats to vote for him as well, and they'll keep him in office. I think he'll be good as long as we don't give up and don't look at November. And this goes for everybody. Don't look at November 2025 and think that it's worthless and it's not worth going out to vote. We have to vote. Mail-in ballots are going out right now, so anybody that hasn't sent them out there, vote for these people. So let's do the next one. Now we got Tiffany Burris. Tiffany Burris, she's great too. She missed the podcast last time, but I'm going to set something up with her. She wasn't able to make it when we had all the other candidates on, but definitely you have to vote for Tiffany Burris. She's awesome, great candidate. Then we have Carmen Bucco. Carmen, get out to vote for Carmen again. These are all great candidates. There's not much more I can say that I haven't said for the other ones. We're all the same. We have the same common goal, and we're all trying to make New Jersey better than what it is, and flip it red, or at least a little bit more purple. Let's flip it to common sense. We'll say that. And then we got one more here coming up. Oh, that was two more. Sorry, Joe Hathaway. He lost. So it sucked that he did, but let's go to the next one. Greg Milley. Greg Milley, great guy. Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's funny as heck, and he is determined to win. He doesn't have a primary candidate, which is great, but going good thing for him. I think he has like 8 Democrats, 7 or 8 that are running for the same seat. So let them battle it out, and Greg gets to sleep through the primary like I do. So then after that, then the battle's on. So there are candidates in New Jersey. But we got to get pictures of the ones running for commissioner as well. I mean, I already had one of one. Martino had him on, but we got to do a little slide for them as well. So Nick, I'll get some. If you could talk to them, just tell them to give me some, some of their headshots or whatever, and whatever they have for a website, and I'll feature them as well whenever. Podcast.
We're working on that right now.
But then I mean, and before we go into Patriots and losers, real quick, I don't want to forget about this. One thing, who Luca Pelli is, right?
He's the director of Camden County, right? Commissioner.
Yeah, commissioner. Yep, he is. That dude. Oh man, this things that he put out there, and this is out there on social media, and I'm going to have it up there for the next time when we post it. He put it out there. He talked about ICE. He called ICE the Gestapo, ICE the KGB, Putin's agents, KGB. He called Trump a cult leader and a traitor to this country. Now, this is a guy talking about his own government and his president. And I was at his it was Donald Norcross's town hall meeting back in Haddon Heights a couple months ago. And at the end, Luca Pelli just blatantly came out and said Donald Trump is a pedophile in front of the whole crowd there. That's another person, that elected official, that spews the hate out there, calling our president a traitor, a pedophile, a cult leader, and then talking about ICE. And you wonder why people attack ICE, people attack the third assassination attempt, because of people like Luca Pelli. So Luca Pelli, I can't wait to
I don't understand what that message has anything to do with making the county better. He must be sucking up to get a higher office or something. I don't know why come out and say some stupid shit like that.
I mean, everything he said was in writing in his post that he put out there, and it's on social media. Jack Brangan, who's my campaign manager right now, he highlighted it, put it out there, and highlighted the words that he said. The only thing is the pedophile part that he said. I was there when he said it at the town hall meeting, and he just blatant. I wasn't recording him or anything like that. I didn't expect him to say it. He just came out and said, Donald Trump's a pedophile. I was like, what did he just say? And
did he get applause?
No, he didn't actually.
Okay,
and there was a lot of lefties in there, but there was a lot of people in there going after Norcross about different things. I was screaming. They closed it down early because the people started getting out of hand. But yeah, in the end, like I called it. I'm like, he just says he's a pedophile. And Mo said, yeah, he just said that. I don't know. So they're the people that stoke the hate.
That's what I mean. It's people that are in leadership positions. They start this ridiculous rhetoric. I think that they should be held accountable. For if something bad happens, where did they hear it from? They heard it from a leader. So why can't they be held responsible for saying for spewing lies and starting hate? I don't get it.
I'm waiting for somebody to say. I mean, I'm just going to, because we're talking about Lou right now. I'm waiting for something bad to happen. They have a manifesto. Like, Luca Pelli said he was a cult leader, so I had to kill him, and they put that in their manifesto. And then then he should lose his seat and maybe even be prosecuted for it. You know what I mean? You can't, if you're an elected official, but somebody like people that voted for you, Nick, say voted for you, they believed in you, they trusted you're going to do the job. You're their leader, in the county, we're commissioner, and you come out and you say stuff like that, and you go on TV and post these things on social media and say so and so is whatever Hitler, and then somebody goes, oh well, I love Nick DiSilvio, and he told me that this person, I elected him. He told me that this person's horrible, and I got to stop him. I mean,
right?
It's crazy, man. It really is. It's getting out of hand.
It is. It's crazy. I don't know. The only way it's going to stop is to hold these people accountable for what they say. You know what I mean? I would never, ever in a million years incite violence because I don't like somebody. If I don't like the way a legislator, or I don't like somebody that's in a leadership position, I'll attack their policies. You know what I mean? I'm not going to attack them personally. You know, so I don't understand that. I don't understand that rhetoric, and I never will. You know?
Yeah, you do it on the debate stage. You do it at the ballot box.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the debate? Nobody debates anymore. I don't get it. They just want to kill people. So
yeah, exactly. Good, because they can't answer the question. Ask them a simple question, common sense question. They can't answer it. They're afraid to because they know that they're full of shit.
You know what I would really like to hear? I would like to hear some of the Democrats in Gloucester County come out against what happened on Saturday. I would like to have them make a statement that what that guy did doesn't represent their party. You think that'll ever happen?
Yeah, it may. It's possible. I know there's a lot of people out there. I posted a post out there earlier, condemning violence on all sides. But like Gibbstown, uncensored. I think that one sparked a big debate between a lot of people. People were saying it was staged and Trump's a cult leader, and other people were like, "You're crazy, you're left." So I mean, on that post, people went back and forth like crazy. So I don't know. I mean, but there were some Democrats on there that they said that they are a Democrat, and they said, "I'm a Democrat, and I don't approve of this. This is crazy. We got to stop." So
all right, well, good for.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
All right.
So, but I was Nick. We're going to do let's do the Loser of the Week award. And I know, spoiler alert, who's going to be the Loser of the Week next week. We just talked about him, but this is the loser for this week. Throw it.
Okay.
The Jersey Shore Podcast presents the Loser Award. And it goes to Hassan Piker.
Losers! 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 Oh, shut up!
So looks like did we lose Nick somehow? I don't know. It almost is if it died or anything. There he is. He's back. So yeah, Hassan Piker got the Loser Award, obviously. But the spoiler alert: who's going to get it next week? Someone we just talked about. Commissioner Downey. So
okay,
I want to ruin it for everybody, but yeah, he's getting Loser of the Week next week. Luca Pelli. But that's running the Patriot Week. I got a special surprise for Patriot Week award right here, and I'm going to get one of these too. So let's roll this.
Okay.
The Jersey Shore Podcast presents the Patriot Award. And it goes to Commissioner Nick DiSilvio.
Come on, man.
No, I already told my wife. I said, order me that outfit because I want to be the Patriot of the Week award. I'm going to wear that shit. I'm telling you. She found it for me. She's like, "I remember the American outfits." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been telling you to order me one." I said, "I want to get something like that." That was cool. It's funny, man.
You know how much crap I took for wearing that outfit?
What, for your wife?
No, when I posted it on TikTok, it was a video. And I was getting a lot of hateful comments like, "Oh, what are you, MAGA? You stink," and all this other crap. I'm like, so you can't even wear the colors of red, white, and blue? You know, I guess
I get it all the time, dude. I'm telling you, I'm getting one of those outfits. I'm going to wear it too. I'm going to make a commercial.
Okay,
just for shits and giggles and have fun. Why not? You know what I mean? Come on, it doesn't be that serious. I mean, you're a patriot. You're a patriot. You're for your country, or you're not, and have fun doing it too. You know what I mean? This election that I'm going into right now in this campaign, it's going to be horrible. I'm going to get trashed by my opponent. He has so much money, but you know what? If I'm going to have fun with it, like, what's the point? You know, I'm going to make people laugh. I want to get them.
Don't say that you're going to get trashed, dude. Don't say that.
No, trash. No, not trash in the election. Not by numbers. I'm saying trash by him saying stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah, not trashing the election. No, I'm winning this. I'm winning this. So, but my point is, no, he's going to trash me and say all kinds of stuff. Who knows what he's going to come up with? But I'll wear that same outfit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to do it.
Well, let him make fun of that outfit, because then you got some opposition research on that. If he's going to make fun of that outfit, that's fine.
Yeah, why not? Listen, I'm self-deprecating. I want to have fun, but it's a great outfit. You're not going to wear your flag, I mean, why not? So, but yeah, no. And again, everybody out there is listening. I meant trash. Like, he's going to trash me by saying stuff about me, because that's the type of person that he is. Right. So he's going to find out something I forgot that I did when I was 15 years old or something. Whatever. Who knows? I have no clue.
I don't really think he can get more American than Union made. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I'm real union. You are too. He's not. He went through the apprenticeship. That was about it. And then that was about it. He hasn't touched a tool in over 30 years, and he claims he's like, oh, I'm the only union electrician elected to Congress. You weren't really an electrician, dude. Seriously, stop. You weren't. You never worked with your tools. You went through your apprenticeship, and then you moved on and got that. Your brother hooked you up with everything. So I'm sorry. So I mean, really, built by working hands. He doesn't have a shirt like this. So,
I worked with Donnie, but he was in the office when I was an apprentice. So he was always in the office. He was always like an agent. So yeah. I didn't know him as a worker. So
yeah. So when he says that he worked and all this stuff and proud to be a worker, yeah, okay. Let me see him pick up a wire reel, buddy. So, but other than that, but Nick, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was a great time. And I just got to say, first, anybody to find you're going to be running for office again next cycle, right?
Yeah, up for re-election next year, correct.
Yeah, so if you want to tell anybody where they can find you, on social media, whatever, and just so because you'll be running again, then you and Chris.
You can find me on Facebook. I'm easy to find. I am on my name, Nick DiSilvio, I also have a Facebook page for my Gloucester County Commissioner, Nick DiSilvio. If you want to get in touch with me, just send me a message on Messenger, and I'll respond. I respond to everybody's inquiries. I don't care who you are. I don't care what party you are. If you have an issue, just get in touch with me.
All right, awesome. All right, and then Nick, we'll talk about this later on. I mean, there's a school board meeting on the 29th. I don't know what it's coming up soon. If you're available to make it and talk about some of the stuff that we talked about, we can talk after the podcast.
Is it West Deptford?
Yeah, it's in West Deptford, yeah.
And it's a school board meeting on the 29th?
Yeah, the stuff that we talked about, them cutting their funding and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
anything we can look into and to see what the whole deal is, that'd be awesome if we can. And I plan on attending and find out where the money's going and why they're cutting all these services.
Now, is this meeting? See that the school boards have like two meetings for their budgets. One is the Senate to the county, and the other one is an actual adoption. Is this the adoption of the budget? Do you know?
I have to check. I'll be honest with you. I've been so busy with everything. My wife isn't one that told me about it, but I will check on that. We'll talk about it after.
Well, they could actually still vote it down. So if they feel like it, if they want to. So
all right. So everybody, thank you very much for joining us. All listeners out there, we really appreciate it. I'm only doing Mondays right now on the Jersey Shore podcast. Is that good? Thank you for fighting for us. All right, it's awesome. Thank you. But thank you for joining us tonight. I'm doing Mondays only for now, and then Wednesdays on the Pulse. We take turns moderating on Wednesdays. I'm not doing Fridays unless I have a special guest, because the campaigning is pretty hard. I don't have a lot of time. Kids have all the practices and their games and lacrosse and baseball and everything else.
That.
Yeah, you do too. But anybody, I hate asking for it, but I need it, because I'm not scared. I'm going to Norcross hard, and I'm going to win. So, but I need help.
Donate to Damon.
Yeah. Go to votedamongallup.com and click on that donate button. And I'm going to have a fundraiser in person at Sons of Italy, May 17th. That flyer will be out right after the show on social media and share it with everybody. But thank you all for joining. Nick, thank you. Awesome guest, as always.
Thank you, brother, for having me on.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Signing off.
See you.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started. Job site dust to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up. While suits in D.C. say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot what hard work means. They talk real big, but nothing ever changes. While Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain, I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town. Rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair. I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot. And tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for work, and not another plan. Not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands. For Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan. Let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way. I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand. Cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. While the old guard keeps playing the same old game. But we're done with waiting, done with excuses. It's time for a man who knows how to do this. I build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Make the crowd chant with no music.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.